Hello, hello. Yeah. Oh, welcome in. Hello, hello. Let's see what deck we have tonight. I'm doing good. We have the Black and White Tarot. Yay! Who needs colors anyways? I like the way this deck shuffles. All right, knees duts. Thanks for the enthusiasm. The positivity. Would you like to go ahead and ask a question and get us started? I'm doing great, doing well. Doing swell. I decided to fluff up tonight's streams with some Tumblr reads. So we got that going for us. Almost finagled that well. Ooh. Ooh. What a interesting contrast of bottom cards there. You're disconnected. You're disconnected with life or something. Lost your spark. So what's the question? Are you disconnected with life? Have you lost your spark? Is that what we want to find out? Or how do we feel more connected? How do we find this spark? There's also another way we could go. Glass is half empty kind of thing. Who's passionate about life? Many people think life sucks. Tyson, what are you doing? You're just living in those good moments that are far and sparse between the bad moments. Everyone can feel that kind of pain. But it's normal. Not you. Tyson, what are you doing? He's acting out. Tyson! Hey! He's ignoring me. Alright. Has Knees Duts truly lost this spark? And can Knees Duts find it again? Queen of Swords. Alright. 2 of Swords. 5 of Swords. 4 of Cups. Wheel of Fortune. Where are we going with this? 5 of Wands. Okay. Where are we going with this? Lots of swords here. lots of swords, 4 swords. And I think that's really has a lot to do with mental processes. That's what the swords is that symbol of. And I do feel like this lack of lust or spark or whatever it is does start within you and your own mentality. It's not always easy to trick yourself into seeing all the positivity and joy in the world, right? Especially if you're a big thinker. Those swords really take over the cups part. Tyson! He's got his head in the couch. Hold on. Hold that thought. Swords. Hold that thought. It's a joke. Sir! Quick! Get your head out of the couch! What is wrong with you? Stop it! Go away! Here. Have some of this. I threw some catnip down. You're already exhausted with this life. That is one thing. Mental fatigue. Exhaustion. It's not physical. It's not physical exhaustion, right, that you're experiencing. Though it does feel physically fatiguing sometimes when we get up in our thoughts. But this is more like taking this time where you're not being super passionate, and just take this time to yourself. It could be about discovering yourself, but this is a period of rest for you, so to speak. It's a time where you don't need to be putting a lot of extra stress and strain on yourselves. Give yourself a break, a vacation. Not like a real vacation. No one can do that anymore. But 4 of Swords. What was our question? 4 of Swords is about recovery. So that in a sense you will get through this. You will. Well, I don't see much spark except for that 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands, that could be a spark of passion coming up. But we have the 4 of Cups, and the 4 of Cups we see as apathy. You need to kind of figure out what it is that excites you, what it is that stimulates you mentally. So don't get stressed when nothing seems to be happening, when you don't see that spark. Again, this is a time for us to just set back and maybe start thinking about the things that we might want to start looking at. Then we have the Queen of Swords, and that is about taking a direction, being more direct with what you want, how you want to live your life, what it is that you want to put all your energy towards. You need a plan. You need to figure out what that plan is. 2 of Swords. Let me breathe a second. We have options. There are options. If this is not working for you in the way things are playing out or the way things are going, you don't have to stay where you are. Maybe this is a time for you to be a little bit selfish. That 5 of Swords is a victory that we get all on our own. It is about being a little bit selfish, doing what you want, doing what will bring you joy. So when we see that 4 of Cups reminding us of apathy, it's not so much about, well, I mean, you might not be feeling very interested in anything at the moment. Yes, with that 4 of Cups. But sometimes you need to make the moves first. You need to start making the actions, and then the emotions will follow suit. And I think all of us are kind of familiar with that saying, What is that saying? I don't know that saying. Fake it till you make it, kind of, right? You're going to put on that smile until you actually are feeling happy. So it's going to take a lot of mental power on your part. It's about, again, directing your efforts and, seeing the options that are laid out. If something isn't working the way it's going, then you need to figure out how to change that. The Wheel of Fortune, the Four of Cups, apathy, stagnation, that's what we see from these two. We're not going to see any big movement very quickly, anytime fast, right? That's why we're starting, I think, with that Four of Swords, where just take this as a rest period. Take this as a quiet period before something bigger happens. That Five of Wands is something that's going to be stirred up, and it's going to get you engaged and get you maybe excited, get you to want to continue to push yourself forward. It's not right now, unfortunately, but again, just take this time to think about where you want to go. Create a mental space for yourself, maybe in a more positive way. You're not excited, you're not going to be super excited about anything right now. But again, sometimes we just need to start engaging in some activity that, could bring you joy, that you may have been interested in, and then find that enjoyment after. And then you'll get very much engaged. There's no easy answer for your question. No easy answer, easy path for you. This is just the period of time where you are going to feel a little disconnected, a little lackluster, but you got to start kind of taking some steps towards something that might bring about interest and excitement later on, once you start building up. Maybe if there's something that you're good at but you've never really put much attention towards, maybe start practicing and see where that leads you, and then that excitement will follow. You got to drum up this excitement in your own life. That's what I got for you. Unfortunately, not a great throw it in your face answer. It's kind of depressing, but there's not always an easy quick fix, right? That's what I got for you in these duds. Again, this is a time where you can be a little bit selfish. Don't exhaust yourself on other people's behalf when you're already feeling that exhaustion in your own self, in your own life. Thank you. That's not finding what I want there. Thanks for the follow. Hello, Garbo. Why are you in here throwing red flags around? Garboder. Go border. Alright. as I said, we did flush out here some Tumblr questions. You're depressed. Well, Garbo, I expect you to be a little bit depressed when you're at work. Would you like a reading on your depression, Garbo? Did you? All right. I want to ask a question for fun, but also because I am envisaging following this path. Envisioning, I think we mean. Let me just make sure that that doesn't mean something else. Envisaging. It's not a word, is it? Contemplate, or okay, envisaging is a word. Contemplate or conceive of as a possibility or a desirable future. Hello, we're learning vocab. That's cool. Okay, that sounds hurtful. So, envisaging, I don't know how to pronounce it. Following this path. I won't be depressed if cards are not favorable. My question is, will I be able to one day make it in the modeling industry? Okay. I'm not seeking a yes or no answer, but rather I want clearance about this path for me, if it's the right path for you. All right. Hello, Bleed Codeine. So let's see. Unacceptable. We don't collect flyers in this. Initials MDT. MDT is this modeling path. The right path for MDT. Oh, nice. Death. 4 of Wands. Okay, so we pulled 5 cards here. I will say that overall positivity. Now, we do see a little bit of a hang up here. That 8 of Swords. With that 8 of Swords, we can be very trapped inside ourselves. And I think that's what we're going to struggle with. How can we move beyond the place that we're in mentally? But the 2 of Cups is positive. The 2 of Cups is finding that nice balance between, making this a reality and, what we want in our mind and how that plays out in reality. So that's not necessarily bad here. I do feel like this is the correct path overall. It won't necessarily be easy. That Fool is kind of like anything can happen, honestly. And so maybe plan for some unexpected events that'll help to push you forward down this path. They can cause problems for you. We have the Death card. So it does seem like there is something, especially with that connection with the 8 of Swords, something that we aren't quite ready to let go of fully. And I think that's the only thing that's going to keep us from finding the success that we want in this path. So I think it's one of those things where you don't really know what to expect until you kind of put yourself in that situation. The 4 of Wands is that milestone card. So we have to have this experience. We need this experience in order to figure out what it is that is truly for us, if this is the correct path. So I can't say 100% yes, this is what you're meant to do. But I do think this is a significant experience that they need to try out for themselves to see if it is something that they are wanting to continue to attain, to see if this is the right fit for them. So I'm not going to say necessarily yes or no, and that's not what they're looking for. I do think they need to kind of just see where it goes, see where this can lead. Let go of maybe some preconceived ideas, is that the best way to say that? And just go with the experience and see where it lands you. Because there are good things to come on this path. Okay. Hello, hello. I do love readings, yes. Bleed Codeine, yes, you are next. Moon the Raccoon, that's cute. Hello, Uncle Jimmy's Basement. What is this little kitty cat? That's so cute, so strong. You like the black and white. I have this black and white. And then I have a glow-in-the-dark tarot deck, which is like opposite. So it's black cards with white outlines. And I don't know where that one is particularly at this moment in time. All right, Bleed Codeine. How does B feel about you currently? Oh, there it is. I think. Yeah. There it is. So they glow in the dark. They're pretty cool. So yeah, just the opposite of our black and white tarot deck. These are more of like, I don't know, it's a really horrible cardstock. They feel kind of like cardboard, really thin cardboard in a way. Or these are more like plastic. So they're much easier to shuffle. But they're kind of interesting together. Yeah? Yeah, my mic's on. You can't hear me? Hello? Okay. Just you, Bleak Odin. If the cats are moving. What the heck am I doing? If that cat's mouth is moving, the mic is on. So, we're ready. Okay. Just in case anyone has any doubt. Hello, Erin. Long time no see. Is it picking it up though well? Like, oh, you know what? I have the wrong mic selected. That should help with the mic quality, hopefully. I don't know. I didn't realize that thing wasn't going this whole time. Wrong microphone. Look at me. How does V feel about bleed coding? Sounds the same. Okay, well, I guess that's good. It may have been the correct mic. I don't know. How does V feel about bleed coding? Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. Look, they're all in reverse right now. So this doesn't feel very good, and we worry about that Magician card in reverse because that's my card of deception. So that may be that we're missing some kind of trust here. The Lovers in reverse is incompatibility. The Queen of Swords is judgmental. The Page of Wands, these are in reverse. The Page of Wands in reverse is distractible. So in my mind, V doesn't have a lot of faith in you or like see that you maybe really care for them or you give them a lot of attention. I don't know how close you and V are, but in this situation, V doesn't see that you two really are compatible. And again, there may be some issues with trust here. Maybe not necessarily trust, you know, that you're a good person, but maybe trust that you have things planned out or that you know where you're going or you're direct with what you want, right? We just don't have much expectation in you to kind of lead things where they need to go. So, something missing there. Something that doesn't allow us to fully connect. Interesting. And it could be a situational thing. Again, that Queen of Swords is about judgment that we kind of place. It's not necessarily the truth of things, but we just maybe not have the best idea of who you are. Oh, language barrier could probably cause problems. Only because, you know, when we can't communicate very well, we may not understand intentions. And sometimes it's even as much as like colloquial things, like certain gestures or sayings or things that don't quite aren't quite understood in the same way, right? So it can cause, I would say, less deception and more like misconception here. So we may be misconceiving what's going on or your intentions. Thank you, thank you. Where the heck did I put my cue? Oh my gosh. I moved all these screens around. Here we go. That's that. There's my cue. Oh no, that's my microphone. Where's my cue? Where did it go? Is it still open? There we go. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay. Moon the raccoon. Raccoon or raccoon? Tamort? Is that Tamori? Or is that someone else completely different? Hello, hello. I was watching the cutest little video of a raccoon earlier. It was eating up some peanuts. I love watching their little hands manipulating things. You haven't been feeling the best. All right, Morty. You haven't been feeling the best as some close friends told you they wanted space. You've been reflecting a lot and have pulled some cards for yourself, but I'd like any message Spirit has about it from another reader. I find it difficult to read for myself sometimes. Very valid. A lot of times when we read for ourselves, it very much is about how we're feeling in the moment. So when we're feeling kind of crappy about the situation, we may see things in a very crappy way. Or if we are expecting a really good outcome, we may look and try to pick out those really good pieces, right? Ignoring some of the other messages. Let's see though. Let's see what my cards have to say. Sometimes we just take that, hey, your friends want space, and like, hey, we got the message. Look, let me go do my own thing. Unfortunately, but don't take it too personally. But that's kind of tough. All right. Messages that Spirit might have. The Ace of Pentacles. Okay. The Moon. Okay. The Emperor. Okay. The Knight of Wands. You know what I see this as? It does seem like maybe it is good for you and your own path, your own journey, to kind of start making way for yourself. It may be good for you to actually leave these friends behind in a way. We have that Ace of Pentacles. And with that Ace of Pentacles, we may feel like we've been knocked off our feet. There may be trepidation in moving ahead on your own. There may be risk that you don't quite understand or see, but you like feel like something, you know, afraid to go out on your own. But that Ace of Pentacles, I see that as a positive move most of the time. Even if it doesn't feel safe, it may be something that you need to do for yourself. The Moon, when it's in reverse, let me take a breath here. When we see that Moon in reverse, you really have to kind of trust in your own self. Trust in like your intuition, right? The Moon, whether it's upright or reverse, when I read it, you know, it's kind of about how you see through kind of illusion, how you see the truth in your reality, in your place. So, like, this is cutting through the bullshit. And maybe these friends were just, bullshit, right? Don't feel bad. Again, like this may be a sign that it is your time to move away from these people. It may be that you have outgrown this group, or y'all have taken separate paths, but don't feel bad about it, because it seems like that moon in reverse I also see as like trusting in the process, right? So kind of trust that this is actually a good step for you. And when I see the Emperor here, the Emperor is about taking charge, taking control. And I like it paired with that Knight of Wands, because this is your opportunity to kind of create what you want for yourself. Take charge of your life in the direction that you're going. See what other opportunities are available for you. These people may have been holding you back in ways that you didn't know, because if you rely on friends, you might not see how good you are on your own, right? Starting to realize maybe they weren't as good for you, didn't understand you as well as I thought they did. Yeah, like this is your time to find yourself. Who you are outside of this friend group, who you are away from these people. This is an opportunity, again, feels bad, feels risky, feels like your world may be coming down, but this is something that you need for your path of growth, right? So now's your time to take charge. Find the people that are more, I guess, like you. I don't know. But this is time for you to find yourself. So while it may feel shitty, this is an important step for you. It really is. You don't really know who you are outside that friend group until you completely separate yourself from those friends, right? And you will find other friends. You will find other people who you probably will get along with better, honestly. So it's not the end of the world. It's the beginning of something new. A new opportunity, new opportunities to come, right? Trust in yourself. That's what I got. I see this will be overall a positive move for you, even if it doesn't feel that way right now. That's what I have for you, Moon to Raccoon. Thank you. I like that. That was very much about finding your empowerment. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Mango donuts. I like mangoes. Sometimes I like donuts. I don't know that I've had the two together or what exactly that is. You're in a relatively new relationship, looking for insight into who he is, specifically with loyalty, his feelings for you. You've tried pulling cards for yourself, but find it to be biased. It's tough. It's tough to try to look at someone who's close to you when it comes to cards. And again, that can be very much how you're feeling about them at the time. You're in love with them. Oh, these cards look great. You really hate them. Yeah. Give me that tower. Thank you, Moon. So let's see. Who is this mango man? loyalty, feelings. What do we got? All right. Okay. All right. Okay. The devil. Okay. I like this. I like this because he may not seem perfect. He may not seem perfect, but it does look like he is trying to make more positive moves in his life. Now that fool, they got a lot to learn, okay? They got a lot to learn. Maybe they can learn that from you. These are actually old, but no one really liked them. I was showing this deck too. This is the glow in the dark deck. I used it a long time ago. Probably like October of last year. But that fool is the fool. And maybe he's got a lot to learn when it comes to how to treat people or how to be in a relationship. But he is trying. Okay? He is trying to kind of be better. He may not always know how. He may not always have the correct solution. But he's starting to figure things out. That Five of Pentacles, we're learning how to deal with the situation that we find ourselves in. Relationships, I don't know how many he's been in. I don't know if he's really been in a like a long-term thing, but he is kind of trying to learn, how do we navigate, how do we deal with this person and our separate selves coming together. Justice is finding that balance. And holding ourselves accountable. You know, I admire someone with the Justice card because with that fool, where he may not know everything, I think he's willing to accept or willing to admit he's not perfect, willing to admit that he has faults, that he is still learning. And we have the King of Pentacles, who does want to succeed. They do eventually want to, you know, find that person they want to be with. They want to build their life. Again, we may not know how to do that yet or exactly who we're doing that with. There's still stuff that we need to learn, but eventually we do want to get to that point. And then we have the Devil card, but you know, the Devil just makes me think that maybe with these two, again, he's got a lot to learn. He's got a lot of his own immaturity he may need to get over. He may have some bad habits that he needs to let go of in order to be the person that you want him to be. But he'll get there eventually. I don't think he's a bad person. I think that he is still trying to figure things out and still trying to learn. So he may make some mistakes. But overall, he seems pretty genuine. He just may be stupid sometimes. I don't hate it. We gotta be careful with that Devil, but I wouldn't fault him too much. Reflected in what you've been seeing. Good. And he is bound to make more mistakes, okay? But there is some genuinity. Is that a word? There is something genuine about him. Dang, thanks for the sub. Look at that. Whew. Did I say hello, Raven? I don't know, but hello. I saw it again, so. Aaron, are you ready? What has been going on? What is the tea? All right. These men. These men. When is one of them really gonna smarten up and try to keep hold of you? Alright, I don't know why I want to say fishbowl guy. I don't know where I'm getting that from, fishbowl guy. Am I thinking of like a party bowl? I don't know, a punch bowl? Where is fishbowl coming from? I don't know. Oh gosh, my brain. Alright. Is he into you? Is he into you? Isn't that the name of a movie? No, that's he's just not that into you. Something like that. Alright. Is he into you? Okay, we got a Queen of Pentacles, we got a Hermit, we got an Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Devil, oh my goodness, and we have a Ten of Cups. Wow. I would say that yes, he is into you. Whether he's looking for a relationship, that is kind of like in question here with that Hermit, that Eight of Pentacles, and the Devil there. I don't know that he's quite at that stage where he's like thinking relationship, but it does seem like there is interest in there. There is interest. Queen of Pentacles. What can we say about the Queen of Pentacles? I feel like that's kind of like your energy here, maybe. We can imagine, we can see, we can think about, you know, what this person can bring into our lives. The Hermit, though, the Hermit is where maybe he's not been in relationships recently, or he's kind of feeling at this point where he just wants to be on his own. He's still going through his own stuff. So again, relationship may not be where we're headed right away, but there does seem to be a draw, a pull towards you, absolutely. What were we thinking with that Eight of Pentacles? The Eight of Pentacles. I don't like that card so much, but maybe that's about his own self. When we have the Hermit and the Eight of Pentacles connected together, it seems like maybe he feels like there's something that he's lacking, or there's still more that he needs to explore. And then we have that Devil. So there may be things that he still wants to do before he kind of settles down. But again, Ten of Cups at the end here, he wants to find happiness overall. He's toying with the idea that maybe this can grow into something, but I do think that there is still kind of some things he's not ready to give up and like be relationship material. Is he into you? I do believe so. Where he wants to go with that, it's not really set in stone. But potentially, that could be a happy ending. I do feel like there is still a part of him that's like, I still have more that I need to do, or, you know, I don't want to miss out on something because I've settled down too quickly, right? So this may be a very slow relationship to build up. But I can't help with that Ten of Cups to think something happy at the end. You know? That's the blissful situation. That's the family. That's the love. And we have a Queen of Pentacles at the start, so a good start to like stability, right? He just needs to grow up himself a little bit here. Maybe get out of the party phase that he might be in. I don't know what kind of party this was, if he's a partier, but you see where I'm going. There's interest, yes. He's into you, yes. Is he into settling down? Maybe not right this minute, but you could probably change his mind if you're interested in him. So I wanted to throw him in the corner yet. He doesn't drink. Oh, interesting. Okay. A man that likes to party but doesn't drink. That kind of stands out to me. Interesting. Ooh. Is he pretty attractive? You lusting after him yourself? Just kidding. But yeah, I like him. Hopefully you have a way to keep in touch. Thank you. Morty Mort. Oh, y'all, Tyson gets his stitches taken out tomorrow. I'm so excited. My poor boy. I want some advice and knowledge about... Thanks for the hydrate. Forgot you were here for a moment, Cozy. You being so quiet. Knowledge about what's actually happening in your life right now. You're very paranoid and worried about what people think of you, or if they're mad at you, mad at me. I hope you can find some knowledge about my friends and dates. Very rarely, unless someone says it to your face or is actually showing that they are upset with you, very rarely is anyone actually upset at you, right? I've been there in that position where you really don't know how people are feeling about you, or if they're mad at you, or if you've done something to upset them. Very rarely is that the case. So don't let that be like the first thing that comes to your mind, right? Everything's probably fine. Relax. Breathe. Let's stop catastrophizing things, right? So let's see. I say that, but I'm also kind of like afraid that the cards are going to say something different, because I don't want you to get caught up in what the cards say. If it's bad, if it's good, just think about it. So, let's see. What is the actuality of things? Ooh, you know what that combination is? Those two cards are about you getting in the way of your own contentment, of your own satisfaction, of your own happiness. Let me tell you. We got some cups here, okay? We got some cups here. Let's talk about this. When we see that Ace of Swords, that eight of Swords, my mouth don't always talk right. That Eight of Swords is the traps that we create in our minds. Those traps, those thoughts are just trapping you. It's hard to get out of. It's hard to let yourself free. It's hard to see beyond, right? So we have that 10 of Cups. So we lead to our own unhappiness in this situation. We create a space for ourselves where we reject ourselves. You're not that bad. Hello, calm down. You know, you are, in a sense, rejecting yourself. Your friends aren't rejecting you. So here we have the Hierophant, where we kind of have to put our trust in other people, in someone outside of ourselves, to really show, you know, the kind of person that we are. So think about how people actually are. Like, listen to what they're telling you, you know? If they're saying, I miss you, that's the truth of it. They miss you. If they're like, I'm happy to see you, then yes, they are happy to see you. You gotta kind of put that trust in other people. They're not here immediately thinking the worst of you. All right? The Hierophant, I feel like, is about trust. The Two of Cups is connection. So that's positive. That's good. Your connections in your life are positive. They are good. These people are here to support you. Whether it always comes across that way, okay, it may not, but I don't think there's any ill will, right? I think that's kind of in your own mind here. And then we have the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is difficult because a lot of these thoughts, a lot of these feelings can be bound in immaturity. And whether these thoughts are yourself, you know, in this immature mindset, or your friends sometimes act a little bit immature, it's just, you know, it's meant to be more lighthearted. You don't need to put a lot of weight into this connection. Like, let it flow. I don't know if that's making sense here, but try to be a little bit more open-minded. And, you know, in yourself, you can tell people when you appreciate them, when you're happy to see them. Use the words that would make you feel yourself wanted, right? Sounds like your therapist. And so a lot of times we just need to, this is weird. Sometimes, I don't know if this will make sense. Okay, sometimes we need to teach people how to communicate with us. And I have been there where I'm very blunt with people. Like, when I'm telling you this, it means this, right? Or I need you to tell me this, and then I'll know, right? It sounds kind of needy, but I do think that you need to find a way that kind of you can communicate, and you can receive that communication, and you can, like, trust in what is being said. We teach people, what's it called? How we want to receive affirmation by also giving that affirmation to them, right? Does that make sense? Am I making sense here? I don't know. But don't put all your energy into needing that validation from your friends. For one, I don't know if your therapist has said that, but find that validation within yourself, right? Find the value that you have. We all communicate differently. And honestly, if they're really close friends, or if they're friends that you don't mind communicating with, it's not stupid at all to tell them how you like to be affirmed. If they understand that. Not everyone understands what that means, honestly. Words of affirmation, what the heck is that? But, yeah. Some people show love through teasing. Some people show love through gifts. Some people show love verbally. And you learn that about people. You learn those quirks. Some of us need to flat out say it, though. Alright. Things are better than you may feel, than you may think. The teacher, the Hierophant, that can very much be, in fact, a therapist. Listen to what your therapist is saying. Hello. See them glowing in the dark. Well, we can try. It's still pretty light in here. Let's see if we can get some light absorbed in these cards. Raven. What is something you need to focus on right now? I feel like you have mentioned to me before about using a black light. Someone did. I don't know if it was you, Cozy, but someone did say you could use a black light. Are you? Yeah. I forgot all about that. Hello, Apple. What is this that I have? Oh, oops, later. Raven's here. Okay. Something Raven needs to focus on right now. The Star. The King of Wands. The Queen of Swords. The Nine of Pentacles. Why? Why? You come up in here and get all these cards in reverse. Honestly, why? Well, the Nine of Pentacles isn't upside down. And let me tell you what that means right there. That Nine of Pentacles means you need to focus on yourself. You know? Just make yourself happy. Just make yourself happy. Hi, Iha. Long time no see. The Star is my card when it's in reverse. My card of pessimism. Thinking badly about our situation. Thinking badly about ourselves. The King of Wands reverse could be feeling a little harsh, being a little harsh on ourselves. Look at these two facing off upside down. Facing off upside down, here we have King of Wands and the Queen of Swords. King of Wands, aggressive. Queen of Swords, judgmental. We don't like either of those attitudes, honestly. And it's just, all of this is very negative to me. All of this is very, very negative. So how about we start trying to look at the positive things in our life. Try to look at what you've built. And I feel like I've said this to you before. But think less on what you don't have, what may be missing. Think less on how to improve, and take this time to appreciate how far you've come, what you have learned about yourself, what you have learned in your life, what you have built up, the skills that you have. Like, we need some more positivity And I don't feel like I get that a lot with the cards from you, but it does seem like this is the time to really appreciate you. Right? Let's get rid of all these bad thoughts, this negative attitude, and let's start giving ourselves compliments, you know? Maybe pamper yourself a little bit. Focus on what you need. Focus on you in a positive way, not in a negative way. Don't focus on faults. Focus on the good qualities, what you have, and what you appreciate in your life. That's what I got for you, Raven. This is so blah. This is so bad. Be a princess, okay? Finally, your semester is over. Oh, it makes sense. Good, good. I don't know. I guess a lot of people are starting to get out of school now. I'm kind of gotten used to school not getting out until June, which seems weird because when I was in school, it always came out, like, it always ended in May. So, I don't know. Anyways, thank you, Raven. All right. Hi, hey TC. Hey. Cozy, did you want a reading? Did you want a reading with glow-in-the-dark cards? I really don't think they're gonna glow, because they've been in the dark for many, many months. Both cards. Well. Excuse me a moment, Tyson. You can stay right where you are. Let's see. Ah, we got a little bit of glow. A little bit. Not a whole lot. Don't look at me like that. This is like the glow of my computer screen. Oh gosh, the camera don't like this. Oh, this is like spooky. I'm a ghost. Okay, calm down. What did you want a reading on? I think this light must have a night mode. I don't use these much because I feel like that glow in the dark part is just going to rub right off. Well, let's do 3 from each. Ooh. Oof, oof, oof. It does seem a little bit of imbalance for you, but opportunity kind of mixed within. So I think it's very interesting how we have the Tower reverse and the Ace of Pentacles in our middle cards. Hello, Pocket Cat. Because the Ace of Pentacles is opportunity, wedged in there in the center. The Tower is that card where we claim our space, right? So those are very positive cards, but kind of surrounded in less positive cards. The Sun, sometimes we see that as being overly optimistic. It can also be about not acknowledging or not showing when things are difficult for you. And when we have that paired with that Eight of Swords, it really makes me feel like there is something very big kind of bottled up inside of you. Maybe something that you've been hiding or that you haven't really wanted to express to other people or for other people to see. The Two of Swords is kind of like not allowing this to just sit there weighing on your mind. Like, this is the time when you need to kind of speak out. And it may not feel great. It may not give you like the power that you want. It may not be a situation that's, you know, this is gonna solve everything, but it does seem like maybe you need to let yourself be known, right? Let your feelings be known, let your thoughts be known. You have to get this out and don't hold on to it any longer. You might not get the justification that you want for it. It may cause other consequences, but holding it inside is not helping you. And you want a clarifier. The Four of Swords, which again, holding on to something that's just going to create more stress within us. It's going to strain us. It's going to wear us down. If you do not let this go, it's going to tear you apart from the inside out. That is what we're seeing here. The Empress. The Empress very much is about creating that space. Focus on what you need, you know, focus on creating a better space for yourself. And again, that is by letting out some of the things that you may be holding on to. It already has stressed you out, strained you, but that's what it's about. It's like I said, you're not necessarily going to get what you want from other people, but it's like releasing it is going to help you to give yourself the space that you need, right? That's what I got for you, Cozy. You gotta create opportunity, reclaim your space. Give this opening to yourself. Thank you. Do these, I'm pretty sure the backs of these cards glow too. It would help if they were in the light some more. Where y'all been? Where have y'all been? On these nights that I have been all by myself, aside from like one or two people. Where have y'all been? Thanks for the hydrate. Oh, grades. Okay. Well, Iha has an excuse. They've been in school. So, I wouldn't want tarot to get in the way of your learning. But I miss y'all sometimes. I've been here. Not really. I took an entire week off because of Tyson's surgery. And I just came back this week. Funny enough, someone said, I think it was Apple, that you should try taking the Pigeon Tarot out of your title. And so I did that. And for a while, I haven't had the Pigeon Tarot in my title. And I've also had very little audience since then. And then I put it back. It's like a blessing in disguise. Tyson is wonderful now. Tyson is going to get his stitches removed tomorrow. Hopefully. All that goes well. It's okay. Apple's always like, you don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you could try this. I'm like, okay, let's try it. Tyson has, I don't know. I think today is like the best he's felt in a while. He's kind of doing his own thing. But like last week, when I wasn't doing readings, I could not get away from him. He was such a little mama's boy. And I don't know if it's because, you know, he felt like he needed to be protected, like he was weak, so he was on me like all the time. But today he's a bit more independent. So outcomes for Iha. Oof. Do you want to see? Do you want to see for real? Or anything academic coming their way? Okay. That might mean that we're kind of over the hump. You know, this is smooth sailing now. Let's hope. Page of Pentacles. Okay. Six of Wands. Hello. Good job. All right, Five of Wands, and I'm going to say that Five of Wands probably has to do a lot with self-doubt. All right, you may not feel like you did great. You may be worried about something that you did or something that you forgot or something like that. But overall, you know, be happy with putting this semester behind you. Be looking forward to what is next with that Page of Pentacles. You know, you just realize you did the best that you could. You know, you tried, you put in the good effort, so be happy. Things couldn't have gone better for you, I feel like. Even if you tried a little bit harder, I feel like this is what you're gonna get. You will be recognized. That is great, that Six of Wands, so I think we will get some good scores. They may not be perfect, hello. I don't expect perfection, but you'll be happy. Self-doubt, and then we have the Four of Wands. So rest a little, be happy with how far you've come, and yeah, we have to prepare for what's next, but don't stress yourself out too much. Things are looking good right now. Page of Pentacles, you know what you need to do next. You know what classes you need to go for next. All that's the practical stuff, but take some time to enjoy the end of the semester. All right, take some time to enjoy that relief where things are done. Whew, put that behind us. Okay, you're gonna do better than you think. I like it. Relax, celebrate. All right. Thank you. All right, hey TC. There's positive. Oh, hey TC on ads. Sometimes Hey TC likes to come here and let me say how shitty people are. Confirm all your negative feelings. Oh, goodness. Whew. I was looking at stream avatars packs, you know, those little guys at the bottom of the screen. I was trying to find one that had more customizations, but when you type in stream avatar, all you get is things about the V tube and the PNG tube. That's not what I'm looking for. Thanks for the hydrate. All right. Hey, TC. What is your question? Is that a banana peel? Gone Bananas badge. It sure is. I want this little badge. Share the love. I don't know how to choose the badge that gets displayed though. Any messages from Big Boss Daddy Saturn? Big Boss Daddy Saturn. Let me get to know Saturn a little bit. Big Boss Daddy Saturn. What comes up when I type that into Google? Oh. Okay, Big Boss Daddy Saturn. this like the Emperor here. Discipline, structure, sense of duty. Is that right? We are ready for war, and not in a way that's going to be feeling good. Challenges, self-control, self-control. Well, I'm at war within our want to not have that control. Okay. I'm learning about Saturn in our solar system, actually. Interesting. Saturn experiences a massive energy imbalance with the planet radiating more energy than it receives from the sun. That's very interesting, actually. All right. Maturity, structures, limits. You know, honestly, Aries, Emperor, Saturn, they all kind of like work together. So this may be good, actually, with this cohesiveness, you know? Maybe we don't be scared. Maybe it's time to get our shit together. All right, let's see. Any messages from Big Boss Daddy Saturn? What card represents Saturn, actually, before I lay these out? Let's see if I still have my notes here. Saturn is represented by the World card. Okay. That really feels like getting everything together, getting our shit together, completion energy. Okay, okay. Here we go. If we see the World card, if we see Aries, if we see the Emperor, I feel like that's good sign. Good things are happening. Oh, Judgment. Oof. Well, that's not quite what we want. But that's all right. Sometimes we need to know when we are not. All right. Okay. So, hello. You put in a lot of work in the last sign. But he's not ready to let go, okay? There are maybe some things that we need to get back into order, is what I'm thinking here. We have the Judgment, where there may have been something that we've been ignoring or we've not really been putting a lot of effort into, but it's still kind of hanging over our mind, like maybe we should finish this, like we just kind of like, this isn't important, so we set it to a side, but I feel like it's gonna be something that's important. We can't ignore the little things. They can build up to be big things if we do so. All right. That's my first thoughts with the Judgment reverse. But I do like an Eight of Swords reverse, because that is, actually in this situation, it is kind of an understanding. And so here we have ignorance, here we have understanding. So again, things coming into light, us getting an understanding of maybe things that we should focus a little bit more on. We kind of already know it's there. Let's start making a plan, is what I'm thinking here. Ace of Wands, inspiration. Okay, I like that we have the Ace of Wands here. Now, even though we may have an idea what this is, where we need to go next, it doesn't mean that we're going to follow along in the way that we should. So I feel like you're maybe still not wanting to step up in this certain situation, this certain thing that we may have been, again, ignoring. We have the Three of Cups. That's a card of alienation. 10 of Wands is where we feel like really like we can't take on any more. Okay? So you're going to get to a point where you don't want to continue to push yourself. We may lose that energy that we had with this Ace of Wands. We may feel like, oh gosh, I really don't like doing this all on my own anymore. Can you please help me here, right? Saturn, when are you going to step in so I can get to where I want to go? So what are we saying here? Look, I've said it before, we can't just work on inspiration. When we feel inspired to do things, because when that inspiration goes away, right, then we're just gonna let it fall. So we may have to push ourselves a little more than we want to. And it is for a good reason. You may feel like you're doing a lot of this on your own, like you are very much strained here, but you will understand the reason to do so. It'll come to you. So don't ignore something, again, that you may have been putting off or that you thought could wait till later. Like, this is the time to really make that last go of it, right? That last mile to the finish line. This is what we need to complete before Saturn leaves us. Okay? It's not fun. It's not exciting. Not in the way that you may want, but I feel like something really good will come after. Behave yourself. Sorry. You think always. You always do. Yeah, looks like Big Boss Daddy Saturn's not quite ready to let up right now. But that's okay. It's all about self-discipline, right? And not just about behaving yourself, but taking care of what you need to take care of. The responsibilities that you have, things that you may have been putting on, procrastinating on doing. Let's tie up those loose ends, dot those I's, cross those T's, right? I don't know. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Do, 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 do. All right. Let's see what our next question of the Tumblr is. Hello, I am E. I would like to know if there is still something that binds me and T deep down, even if we don't talk anymore. We were classmates, we had tension, misunderstandings, and it's been a while since school ended, but I still feel something. Is there an emotional or energetic bond that still exists between us? Interesting. E and T. Does anyone know if you post something anonymously on Tumblr, no one's gonna see that reply, right? That's not gonna make them anonymous. I don't know. I've had somebody freak out on me before. Is there still an energetic or emotional bond between E and T? Temperance, 9 of Cups, King of Swords. No, it doesn't feel like it. Honestly, you may be better off not having this energy in your life. Do I have oracles other than clowns? We only have, oh, well, we have the animal deck. Was that considered an oracle deck? And we had the other one. We don't just have clowns. Oh, that's not it. I'll have to see here. So, what were we saying here? Temperance, 9 of Cups. Like, this does seem like a force that has come into your life to specifically upset you, right? This is not someone that you want to still remain attached to. And I think the only connection here is that we still, for whatever reason, feel this emotional bond, but there really isn't one there. We're hanging on to it, and it is something that we need to let go of. This does feel like this is more in your mind. Now, the Temperance, we can see, I mean, that could kind of go towards like a more universal connection, but it just seems like this person has caused so much upset that we haven't quite let go of that yet. I don't think they're really connected in any way. I don't think this person's going to continue to come into their life or be someone that's going to be around long term. We just need to learn how to let go of the situation. Let's not let this person be on our mind anymore and cause this unease, right? That's what I see here. Leave that person alone. What the heck is my other... Oh, here it is. Okay. Alright. We had the Women of Myth that Garbo really liked because I couldn't pronounce any of their names, right? And then we had the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit, which I would say is an oracle deck, but you know, it can also be kind of read. I don't know what you would call it. It's not like a tarot deck, but it is kind of like... Dyslexic Woman card. I don't know. I don't have a big attachment to oracle decks. But honestly, I haven't really wanted to add any more decks recently to my collection. Well, kind of. There was the one that's, I think, not... It's been discontinued. Look at all that foods. Alright. Dyslexic women. Why dyslexic women? Here we go. These smell kind of weird. You have Freya! We like Freya. We like a Norse goddess. Yeah. Was there any particular question? Or we were just pulling an oracle card? I didn't even ask that. Well, either way, you got Freya. Freya, the pleasure, is what her card says. The golden girl of the Viking pantheon. Freya is the Norse goddess of love, beauty, gold, and fertility. She is associated with luxury from carnal pleasures to material wealth. This card represents covetous desires, both those you may be indulging in and those you are denying yourself. You may feel possessive of a physical object or person. You may be called to act on sexual desire and express your agency. Her advice. No, not a dude. She's a Norse goddess. Okay? Sometimes our Scandinavian features are a little bit on the sharp side. Okay? Anyways, her advice. Freya is demanding that you go after what you want. Okay? It is within your power and within your rights. Be sure to advocate for your wants, needs, and desires without seeking external validation for them. Apple, go after what you want. Go after what your heart desires. Quit putting it off. Quit making excuses, okay? That's what we got. Well, yeah. Okay, us Scandinavian women kind of have more, I would say, thicker jaws. Sheesh. Thank you. Look, Freya just says quit sitting around daydreaming and go after what you desire. Okay? Okay. We got it. We got the message. Why Garbo always hopping in here with a red flag? We're just back to join, nailed Star Chaser. I see you haven't been here for a while. Just exclamation point join. Never been here. Then where did Auntie come from? Do I still have Auntie somewhere? Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh, I never changed those. You are absolutely right. I'm over here blaming you. Heck, how did I miss that? Okay. Yeah, that's probably why so many people are confused. That's hilarious. Okay. Settings, stream, is that right? Maybe not. Where do I change my pop-up here? My rules. Where do I change my rules? There we go. Read carefully before joining. Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, let me get rid of all those. Save changes. Okay. Turn me into a noodle cat. I don't have that anymore. I don't have that set up. Y'all, I need to go put more fun bits in here. Okay. All right. Love reading for Raven. That's why people probably ain't asking questions. They're like, I don't understand all these rules that you got. Sheesh. 5 of Cups in reverse, the Tower. Oof. I don't know how to give you your points back. Alright. Raven. These are horrible. I thought we were looking good, honestly, with the 5 of Cups in reverse, but then it kind of goes crashing back down. You know, ups and downs of love. 5 of Cups. And that could be that maybe there's something that you need to release, you know? Maybe there's something, some idea, some feeling, some past connection, something that you need to rid yourself of. Maybe you need some kind of cleansing. I don't know. I'm not a cleanser. But it does seem like there is something we need to throw out. And maybe that's what that Tower is. We need to get rid of what is not working for us. We need to get rid of that. We need to deconstruct it. We need to start fresh. All right. You got 3 big cards here. I don't like this particular reading. Consequences. What is this? This is when we're alienated. We don't really have anyone that we can depend on. Division. The sun. Masking. Okay. It's almost like there's something that you have kind of pushed aside, something that you have kind of tried to hide, something that you aren't fully allowing out into the open, whether that's something that, you know, you're just trying to hide from everyone, or something that you really don't want in your life anymore. It does feel like there's something that you need to get rid of, something you need to cast out. There is something you're hanging on to, some gremlin on your back that is keeping you from moving forward. And until we kind of figure out what that is, we're going to have some struggles in finding love. And to me, it almost feels like something that may have to do with a situation in the past, something that may be attached to something you've done, because that Justice card can sometimes be about consequences. You have put yourself in this position and you haven't fully acknowledged something or fully taken responsibility for something. And, you know, when we see that Tower in reverse, it's about reclaiming your space, right? So maybe this is you taking control, taking charge, claiming something, claiming your actions, claiming something. Can't we scratch this whole reading? Avoidance doesn't get you anywhere. But yeah, I don't know. There's a reset that needs to happen. Something we need to cast aside. Even if it's this reading, before love will come back in. I don't know. Raven, I guess I'm not feeling the love tonight. This is the Black and White Tarot. A deck I've had for a while that honestly I feel like not a lot of people liked, but I think this was our deck of, we had the Delulu, the Salulu, and the, what was the other one? Malulu. Okay, so this was our Salulu deck originally. This was the one that kind of gave you the harsher truth. So I think that's where we kind of run this deck. Go adopt all of your 200 dogs right about now. Not as fun as it sounds. All you need is one dog to give you unlimited love. Where are we going now? Nali Star Chaser. What does each position represent? Is this just a spread or general vibes? They used to have a set meaning. But not so much anymore. I think I still have that. Malulu, Delulu, Salulu. Malulu, Salulu, Delulu. What the heck is that? Oh, interesting. Did I draw that? Interesting. up next is Nale. That's alright. Is this it? Oh, no, that's not it. Ah, okay. So, I just read the cards. I just lay them out and read them now. But there was an original meaning to this. So, the first card represents the overall energy of the situation. The second card is kind of the trajectory that we are on. The third card is a card of choice, so you can make a decision on how you want things to play out. And here are the possibilities, right? And then we have the final outcome, which may be like the outcome that we are currently headed towards, or it could be the outcome that would be the most favorable in the situation. I don't so much follow that very much anymore, but there are some people that like to have that laid out. Now, did you have a specific question? Or are you just looking for a general? I think that's kind of like why we stopped following that, because most people just come in here and ask for generals. So we just generally read what the cards say. See? You get what you ask for. But mostly, you know, it's kind of like the overall flow. And seeing what blocks that flow. How did the interview go? All right, overall energy, 4 of Wands is a good sign. Trajectory, 9 of Swords reverse is a good sign. Choices, Queen of Swords, also good sign. And outcome, the Fool. We're going to pull one more card for the Fool because I don't really like to end on that. All right, Strength. So we'll go over this. Overall, I think your interview did go very well. So we don't need to worry too much about that part. I think you presented yourself well. You answered the questions well. And you know, overall good. Trajectory. So 9 of Swords is feeling at ease, kind of trust in the process. Now we do realize, you know, we might not be the only one that was interviewed here. And this is either going to be, yes, you get the job and this is where you're supposed to be, or no, you didn't get the job and that just means you weren't supposed to be there. Again, kind of trust in what the universe has played out for you. Don't get too bogged down with whether this is going to work for you or not. Overall, it looks positive. Overall, I think we have a very good chance here, but let me tell you, there does seem like there is a little bit that we can improve upon. So the Queen of Swords is kind of taking the lesson learned from this situation. There may be things that you already think, you know, I could have done this better. And the Queen of Swords is also like, where are we going to direct this energy into next? So there's not a guarantee I've got this job, right? There's not a guarantee here, and I think you feel that. So keep open, right? Just in case this doesn't work out, what's your next step? Don't let this kind of phase you, right? Keep on trying to improve. Keep on going after, you know, other opportunities. So again, you know, if things don't go to plan, it's okay. Things will work out as they're supposed to. Now, where we're coming out with the outcome, and the outcome is what we're not so sure about in this situation here. The Fool is a card where that shows there may still be something that we're lacking, something that we need to improve upon. It could just be that there is something in this job that they kind of expected you to know, and it's not something that you've had experience with, and that's where that lacking comes from. It's not that you did anything wrong, it's just that there may be a skill set that you haven't acquired yet. All right, or experience that you haven't acquired yet. All right, so then we have our clarifying card, the Strength card. The Strength card, what do I think of the Strength card? There's a very specific thing. Okay. So, the Strength card. When I see this card specifically, there are some people that really know how to like sway their audience, even if they don't have that skill, even if they don't know something, they can speak to how they will learn or how quickly they can learn, right? So that's our only concern with your interview. Yeah, you may have lacked the skill, but maybe we didn't have the confidence that you were going to be able to learn what you needed to learn as quickly as we needed you to learn it. So that does mean we need a bit more confidence coming from you when we're listening to this interview. How can you make up when you don't have a skill? How are you going to make up for that? So in my thoughts here, there may be a potential that they may reach back out to you. So kind of have that in mind. You know, if you don't know how to do something, then how will you take the steps to try to learn it or try to improve upon yourself? So it does seem like there's no final decision here. Things are still open. And then if you do, you know, get that call, or they need a little bit more information from you, try to show that part of yourself, that willingness to learn. You know, I always put in my applications, I'm a quick learner. And I really am. Some people are not. So if you have an example of how you can learn quickly, that's always good to have examples for how you handle a situation, how you took care of a situation, how you made up for not knowing something specific, you know. But overall, I do have a very positive energy coming from this interview. And it's just only like little minute things that they may be picking apart before they make their decision, right? There's not much you can do here. And like I said, if you don't get it, it just means you weren't meant to be in that position at this time, right? The universe has a plan for you, and that's where we have that card of trust, you know? Don't let it discourage you. That's what I got. Overall, I like it. Yes, this is Tyson. He's got his little cone on, and he decided that he needed to be on the table. And as Golden said, the cat is always a positive sign when he joins your reading. He's the cool, calm, collected spirit. Nothing wrong here. Now the other one, when the Pigeon the cat shows up, she's a terror. You never know what you're going to get with her. Yeah, you're kind of in the way, little baby boy. You want to sit in your daddy's chair so that you have some space and so that you aren't knocking things off the table? I appreciate it. Ah, okay, there goes our first card. The Hanged Man. It kind of looks like you with your little halo right now. Are you chewing? Are you chewing? You son of a gun. You are chewing. This is what gets you into trouble. This is why I can't take you anywhere. How will your love life be for the rest of the year? What are you eating? What are you eating? What are you eating? Stop it. Stress. Stress. Thanks for the follow. Did you move my camera, sir? There you go. He's beautiful. He's 4 pounds overweight, but he is beautiful. It's all right. He is perfect. Pigeon, where are you? Oh, you're right there. Okay. How will your love life be for the rest of the year? How will your love life be? There's something about cats and dogs. Well, the Fool has a little dog, right? And the Queen of Wands has a little cat. Yeah. They bring peace and comfort wherever they go. He does this thing. He has these itchy spots. Let's see. So when you start scratching him, he starts licking his cone because he's so itchy. He can't groom himself, so he licks the cone. All right, I'm sorry I'm making fun of you. So weren't we asking about someone in particular the last reading? We decided they weren't very good, right? We didn't like them. All right. How does love look for the rest of the year? The Two of Wands in reverse. He has put teeth through 2 of my cards so far. Not in this deck yet. We have the Eight of Swords upright. We have the Judgment reverse. Stop it. And we have the Queen of Cups. Stop it! Stop it. All right. So interesting. I don't like our Eight of Swords. I don't like our Reverse Judgment. I don't like our Two of Wands in reverse. But I like our Queen of Cups. And it's like, you know, maybe love is just not meant for you this year, but I feel like whatever the situation may be, you're going to end up being okay with it, okay? Tyson, you're in my way. So, Two of Wands in reverse, my card of hesitation, that Eight of Swords is being overwhelmed. That Judgment in reverse is ignorance. So it does seem like there's some impatience, I think is a nice way to put it. Some impatience here. And we may even kind of get down on ourselves. We may even feel like maybe there's something that we should be doing differently or we should be doing better, but I don't think that's it at all. I think it's going to be important for you to have that judgment, that awareness of the situations that you put yourself into. So I think it is a good idea to be a little bit picky, a little bit choosy. You'll be fine in the end. Honestly, I think maybe there is a lesson to learn from this person. And I do think that maybe it's better for you to not jump back into another relationship too soon until you've kind of gone through that process. I don't think you'll really want to. You may be, again, we had the card of hesitation. So that could be from our own concern that we're just going to fall back into like a bad situation or a bad pattern, right? We need some good positive judgment in our life. And the best thing with that Queen of Cups is the emotional support that comes from that card. And right now, you need to give yourself that support. And then you may find someone later on who's going to help provide you more additional support. But I think it's more important that you find that within yourself before finding it within someone else. Because that's when things can get a little bit codependent. When we're trying to look for that reassurance through someone else's eyes, then we're never really going to find ourselves, right? So I do think like this is the time for you to be a bit more self-aware, learn how to soothe yourself. Oh, you said it actually soothes me a bit. Maybe that's why I said soothes yourself. I think I just saw that. But yeah, learn to love yourself, care for yourself, be happy and independent, and then you'll have a better, more fulfilling love life coming for you, right? So I don't think it's necessarily like a timeline either that this has to happen. But I do think in the moment, this is time for you to focus on you. And then once you come to this realization, or when you come to this point where really you are happy alone and with yourself, that is when you're going to find the love that's most important, right? Let's not just jump back into something that's potentially going to lead to more. We don't want to be this person trapped up in all these bad thoughts and emotions and stuff, right? Give yourself time. Thank you. Thank you, Tyson. I appreciate it. You're a beautiful boy. And hopefully, next time we stream, he will be rid of this cone. And you will get to see him in all of his glory. You like butt pats? Do you like butt pats? Yeah, he likes butt pats. What did I do? Oh, I did this picture of him the other day. It's not a great likeness, but I thought the idea was cute. And it's him in his cone surrounded by flowers. So we can look fondly upon this time and laugh at it. All right. Well, we have come to the end of our readings. So unless anyone else wants to join for a last reading, I think we might wrap things up. It was a very lovely night. You want an oracle? All right. Do you want the warrior woman? I don't remember what it's called. The warrior woman oracle, like Apple had. Women of Myth. That's what it was called. Because we love strong women. Though some of these are not nice women. The dyslexic women. Alright, Tyson, don't eat my card, okay? Don't eat my card. This is for Raven. Okay. So you got the Kalupalik, which is the warning. We talked about maybe you need a cleanse. Maybe you need a cleansing. Looks like your grandma. Maybe there is some negative energy that you need to rid yourself of. She got a beard. It's like a big chin. I wouldn't call it a beard. Just a big chin. What's on her back there? Maybe like coral. All right. The warning. Straying from your true self. The Kalupalik is a frightening sea creature from Inuit mythology. Her legend is used to warn children to stay away from the ice, where she might kidnap them and drain them of their energy or kill them. You may be feeling stuck, like you have taken the wrong path, but can't turn back. Or you could be in a situation you know deep down isn't aligned with you, but you're ignoring your intuition. Didn't we talk about maybe ignoring something? Her advice. The Kalupalik is a reminder that you should always listen to the voice inside you that tells you to trust what you already know to be true. Be your own guidepost. Act in alignment with your beliefs, values, and dreams. So that's it. Make sure that you are acting in alignment with your beliefs, your values, and your dreams, okay? You are your own guidepost, okay? Trust in yourself a little. Quit luring children into icy waters. No, I think it's a good sign that there is an intuitive part of you that you should be listening to. Trust in that, okay? Trust in that. Hopefully you won't lead yourself astray or into cold, icy waters along with the children, right? Thank you, Raven. All right, Jack's cool. A car-related question. Why a Kia Soul? Why a Kia Soul? I don't know. I've never been a big fan of Kias. From people that I know that have had Kias, they aren't very, like, durable. Just from the people that I've known. They might be shitty drivers. But if I had to choose, I would probably avoid a Kia. Honey. Can you breathe? Can you breathe okay? Poor boy doesn't know he has to go back to the vet tomorrow. Okay. Oh, I wanted to look at a picture of a Kia Soul. You looking for like a new one or yeah, don't get a Kia. Or an old one. I think like the last two store managers I had at my previous job both had Kia Souls. So I feel like it's something that people who not necessarily are rich, but people who make a decent amount of money or have a decent position do tend to be attracted to the Kia Soul. Good budget vehicle. I don't know. I'm a Honda person myself. I've had Toyotas, Chevys, Hondas. I've had a Chrysler. And the best bang for his buck has been my Honda, honestly. I've had two of them that have lasted me, like the first one lasted me over a decade until someone stole the catalytic converter. So like, aside from the Chevy, which I think might have been even better, I don't know. It was the original Chevy. Actually, it was a 96 Chevy Camaro. That car was the best car I've ever had. And it's probably still alive and kicking today. I don't think Chevy makes them as good anymore. But Honda's my pick. Alright. So, I'll stop passing judgment on these cars. I do like that we're choosing a Kia Soul instead of going for like a Mustang or something. Now there's one car you don't want to spend your money on. Not these new ones. Unless you want to be in a financial money pit. Honda. I don't know what it is, but as far as a modern car, the Honda seems to be like the most durable and doesn't cost really too much for maintenance. I think that's the biggest thing people don't think about. If you have a car that needs special parts, anytime you need a fix, it's going to be super expensive. Like, just for someone to work on it, if you have an expensive car, it's going to cost so much money. So I would like choose a car that doesn't need expensive parts. Definitely look at tires. So you don't want a car that needs expensive tires. You don't want a car with special rims, right? You want to kind of avoid the special things. Overall, you'll be happier financially. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. I don't know what maintenance is like on a Kia. Maybe they're good. But I don't know. The 2 people that I've known that have had Kias have been in the shop more times than I can count for some little thing. GMC used to be pretty decent. I don't really know how their cars are going these days, but like I would say like a decade ago, that was like my best bang for the buck type of car if you could afford it. I don't know. I'm not a car person. I'm just talking. All right. Jack's cool. Will you have a chance to get the car, the Kia Soul? Will you have a chance to get that car? I'm not a tarot expert, but not a tarot expert. Not, oh gosh dang it, I'm not a tarot expert, guys. Not an auto expert. I just understand the financial pain that automobiles cause. Oh, okay. 9 of Cups, card of contentment. All right. Queen of Wands. Okay. Temperance. All right. And King of Cups. All right. So, overall, oh gosh. Okay. Overall, I think yes, you will have that opportunity to get the car that you want. Okay? I'll have to tell y'all about this interesting interaction. So, card of contentment, that's what we said. Queen of Wands, who's just, she's getting what she wants. I think things are working out for her. Like, things will fall into place for the Queen of Wands. I really think so. Now, the Temperance is our card of concern. The Temperance is kind of extremes here. So, there's some good, there's some bad. It may not be actually the perfect vehicle or perfect situation. Yeah, maybe you'll get the opportunity to get this car, but maybe it's going to cost a little more than you expected as far as like monthly payments, or you'll get the car, but maybe the insurance that you have to pay is kind of shitty. So there may be some things that are good and bad about the situation that you have to account for. But that King of Cups, honestly, at the end here, King of Cups, things will work out. You know, things will work out. I really don't see it going badly. I think you'll get the opportunity to get the car that you want. If it is the car that you want. It may not be the most ideal in every aspect, but yeah. How many miles? Well, maybe if it's had a lot of miles, some of the tedious parts are done with. Like, some of the replacements, I don't know. Because I feel like the people that I've known that have the Kia, like, most of their problems happen, like, within the warranty period, or that's not always something that happens with cars. Sometimes it's right at the end of the warranty period where things fuck up, but yeah, I think that's just how some cars are meant to go. Anyways, am I going on? We did the charms. The charms, we have the key. Remember, that's the key to the car. That used to be white, and now it's kind of yellow. And we have the moon and the bats. So, the heart key is a little bit about trust. It's about getting what you want. The heart key, along with the cups, I think you'll be very satisfied in this situation regardless. It's going to work out to, you know, the best that it can. And then we had the moon with the bat. Bring to light a misunderstanding. So, what does that mean? A key, like a car key, like a Kia. Yeah. I think that's the important part here. This is just about, you know, an understanding that you come to. But I can't really say that that's good or bad. I think, as I said, I think things are going to work out to the best that they can. And it might not be perfect, but I think overall you're going to be happy with the results if that's really what you want. Right? So that's kind of what I got here. All right. Whew. Kia. Your car also has bats. Maybe there's bats within your car. So, you know, Tumblr. Why am I on Tumblr? Does anyone know, like, Celtic Cross? Y'all know the Celtic Cross? Does everyone know the Celtic Cross here? At this point. Thank you, Jack's cool. And, like, I have a feeling this person is using AI. But the first thing I asked was, like, what is this spread that's being used, right? What is this spread that's being used? And maybe there are spreads that I don't know about, you know? I can be wrong. Like I said, I don't know everything there is about tarot. The Celtic spread that I know, that I'm very familiar with, that is infamous, is this spread. 10 cards, and we have the infamous cross shape. Okay, So I asked this person, because I was trying to help them with this reading, I asked them what the spread was. They didn't know what the spread was, but someone else chimed in, the person that I think is using AI, and they told me that this is the Celtic spread. This is the Celtic spread. This is all the cards in it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They gave me a definition of the Celtic spread. They said, this is the Celtic spread. The Celtic spread is a 10-card spread, blah, 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 blah. Like, definition of Celtic spread. And I was like, I'm not sure that I'm seeing what you're seeing. Because I've never seen the Celtic spread laid out like this. And they specifically said, this is a 10-card spread. This is 8 cards. So I'm really confused. And I was like Googling it and I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find any spread that matches up to this that says it's a Celtic spread. And this is not a Celtic spread. To me, by definition. By their definition. Because they just replied back that in a very kind of snarky tone, like, well, the person said I was right. No, they didn't. They didn't say, yes, that's a Celtic spread. So, they did the reading, right? They did the reading. They did the reading. But all of these cards, they put them wrong. Like, they said this was an emperor. They said this was the chariot. They said this was the 2 of cups. And I'm like, are you sure? And their response was, well, the person said I was right. Okay, so maybe you were right, but these cards aren't the same cards. Like, you're dumb. So my thought is that they put this into Google AI or whatever AI. They put this into an AI, and this is what the AI spit out to them. That's all I can think. And so I looked at their profile because I'm a little snoopy, and I don't see that they've ever posted in the tarot forum. Crab walk to my cats? No. What? Alright. Anyways. I think that should do it before... okay. Before I get too riled up over here. This was a great stream. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody. Yes, I've seen Pigeon do it, and I was scared for my life because you never know what she's gonna do, honestly. Never seen Tyson do that, but Tyson's more like a dog, honestly. I don't see a lot of cat-like qualities from Tyson. It is funny. There's actually a subreddit, I'm pretty sure, that I follow that's like cat crab walking. Maybe not. I follow Cats Are Aliens. I'm sure there's cat crab walking there. Makes your cat do zoomies. I try to avoid that. Pigeon would climb the walls if she could. Tyson's not that crazy. Alright, I do have to get up early though. We got a early day tomorrow. Thanks everybody. And good night.